Hi, I'm Bill Clinton. I was born in Hope, Arkansas on August 19, 1946, which was my grandpa's birthday. My dad died in a car accident 3 months before I was born, which led to much of my childhood being spent with my mother and my grandparents. My mother married a car salesman, Roger Clinton, from who I adopted my last name from during my teenage years. My family then moved to Hot Springs, Arkansas, where I went to high school and took part in the student government and played the saxophone. In 1963, I went to Washington, D.C. as a delegate to Boys Nation, making sure I was in the front of the crowd so I could shake hands with President John F. Kennedy. I was so moved by MLK's I Have a Dream speech that I watched on TV when I got back, that I made the decision to forgo music and medicine and go into public service. I later attended Georgetown University with a degree in international relations and won a Rhodes Scholarship to Oxford University. After 2 years at Oxford, I came back to the United States and attended the Yale Law School. I met my wife, Hillary Clinton, as she was also a student at Yale. I graduated from Yale Law School in 1973 and began teaching at the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. In 1975, I married Hillary and began my campaign for presidency with the help of my wife, of course.
During both his terms, President Bill Clinton wanted to expand the United States economy. He maintained a positive economy by lowering the unemployment rate and inflation rate within the country. President Clinton did this by introducing more jobs into the workforce, as well as introducing more tax breaks. Furthermore, President Clinton signed the North American Free Trade Agreement with Canada and Mexico, which terminated taxes on imports and exports over the boundaries of the three countries. In response to this, the 42nd president, during his second term, experienced the nation's first federal budget surplus in 1998 since 30 years previous. As for legislature, the president tried to initiate universal health insurance for all Americans and regulated the private marketplace. President Clinton enacted the Family and Medical Leave Act, which allowed an employee to take a leave of absence if an illness, military leave, pregnancy, or adoption occurred, as well as the Violence Against Women Act, which supplies money to investigate and prosecute crimes against women, such as domestic violence, sexual assault, or stalking.
When I ran for president, I said we'd cut the deficit in half in 4 years. We cut it by 60%. I said that our economic plan would produce 8 million jobs. We have 10.5 million new jobs. We're number one in autos again, record numbers of new small businesses.
For my foreign policy, I had to decide whether the United States as a world superpower should have a say in the conflicts and violence occurring in Somalia, Rwanda, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kosovo, and Haiti. When I took office, America had free trade agreements in place with 3 countries, Canada, Mexico, and Israel. By the time I left, we had agreements with 17 countries, including developing countries such as Jordan, Morocco, and developing countries in Central America. Much of my first term, I focused on the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina. In the year 1995, we reached a peace agreement known as the Dayton Agreement, leaving Bosnia as a single state made up of 2 single entities. I was also deeply involved in the Middle East peace process to negotiate peace agreements between Israel and Palestine, as well as with the government of Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. In 1993, we successfully formed a declaration of peace called the Oslo Accords. In the midst of the Middle East peace process, I also helped the Hutu refugees of Rwanda by sending food and supplies during the genocide. I sent 200 non-combatant troops to the Rwandan capital of Kigali to manage airport and distribute relief supplies. My presidency is remembered as one of the most successful in the 20th century, faced with major economic crises such as recession, stock crashes, bank failures, saving and loan crises, and the rising price of oil. I am most popularly known for my reforms in the Democratic Party undermining the Reagan Revolution. I regulated the excess of private markets, supported minorities and women, and stimulated economic growth in America. I achieved the largest budget surplus and debt reduction in U.S. history by 2000. Since then, I've been in office, poverty levels fell more than 20 million jobs were accepted, and unemployment rates decreased due to reform groups. I established the American Corps program covering all volunteers and increased the college enrollments. My main motive was to offer more opportunity to all and demand more responsibility from all. Although that was cut short due to my affair with Monica Lewinsky, which was inappropriate and wrong, sadly, I was impeached only to be remembered by my mistakes rather than accomplishments.